If you practice with the words and phrases in this video, I guarantee that your confidence in your pronunciation and your ability to understand others when they speak will improve tremendously. The one thing people ask me for help with the most on Hello Talk is how to pronounce difficult English words and phrases. Unlike Hangul or Spanish, in which the alphabet has letters that really let you know what sounds to make when you look at them, English letters can have many different sounds, and when they mix together, it can be really crazy. Be sure to let me know in the comments or reach out to me on Hello Talk and let me know what words or sounds I can help you with and what other video topics you want me to cover to help you on your English learning journey. About. About. Be sure to pronounce the T. About. Acquaintance. 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 And. Be sure to pronounce the D. And. Ask. A-S-K. Ask, not ax. Ask. Ask the turtle a language question. Ask the turtle a language question. Ask the turtle a language question. Batter. 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 These words are spelled differently, but they sound almost exactly the same. Batter, 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 batter. In the case of batter, B-A-T-T-E-R, it's pronounced almost like it's B-A-D-D-E-R. Batter, batter. B, B-E, B. Bear. Bear. Because. Because. Be. Cause. Because. Bed. Be sure to pronounce the D at the end. Bed. B. B-E-E. This is pronounced exactly the same as B-E, but it's a different word. B. Ben. B-E-E-N. It's spelled just like B, B-E-E, but the N on the end makes it a different sound. Ben. Ben. There's also a name in the English language, Ben, which is pronounced basically the same. B-E-N, Ben. B-E-E-N, Ben. Beer. B-E-E-R, beer. Bees. B-E-E-S, bees. Behind. Be sure to keep the D at the end. Behind. Some people will struggle with the H sound in this word. Behind. The emphasis is on the second syllable. Behind. Bent. Bent. B-E-N-T. Bent. Be sure to keep the T at the end. Berserk. Berserk. Some people might also say something like buzzerk, and that's also okay. Berserk. Bet. B-E-T. Bet. Be sure to keep that T at the end. Better. B-E-T-T-E-R. Better. It can sound a little bit like it's got D's instead of T's in the middle. Better. Better. Bid. Bid. B-I-D. Bid. Bitter. B-I-D-D-E-R, bitter. Bin, B-I-N. Bird, B-I-R-D. Be sure to keep the D on the end. Bird. Bit, bit. B-I-T, bit. Beat, B-E-A-T, beat. Bitter, B-I-T-T-E-R, bitter. Compare this with the word bitter with a D. B-I-D-D-E-R, bitter. B-I-T-T-E-R, bitter. But we usually don't pronounce the T really hard. Bitter, bitter. Breakfast, breakfast. Not breakfast, not breakfast, breakfast. Emphasis on the first syllable. Be sure to keep the T on the end. Breathlessly, 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 breathlessly. Berry, berry, berry. Can and can't. Can, can't. Can't is a contraction. It's short for the words cannot, and it's very common in English. Some people have difficulty with the T at the end. Can, can't. Certain, certain, certain. Certainly, certainly, certainly. Cheer, cheer. Chicken. Compare this to the word kitchen. Chicken, kitchen. We cook chicken in the kitchen. Kitchen is with a K, K-I-T-C-H-E-N. Chicken is C-H-I-C-K-E-N. Chicken, kitchen. You don't want to get those two backwards. Chore, chore, chore. Like many words with an E at the end, the E in chore is silent. And when the E on the end of a syllable is silent, the vowel that comes before it is usually a hard syllable. Chore. Comma. Compared with the word coma. Comma, coma. Conversation. Conversation. In Spanish, the V sound can also be kind of a soft B, like conversación. But in English, it's usually pretty much just a V. Conversation. Conversion. Same thing. Conversion. Convert. Convert. There's another very similar sounding word, converge. Convert, converge. Cook. Cook. Cool. Cool. Notice that cook and cool both have double O in the middle, but the sound is totally different. Cook, cool. Curb, curb. You definitely want to keep that B at the end of curb. Curve, curve. This is one of those cases where the English difference between the B sound and the V sound becomes very important, because curb and curve have similar sounds, but they mean totally different things, and a curb and a curve can occur in the same place. For instance, on the side of a road, there can be a curb and a curve. If you use the wrong word or sound like you're using the wrong word, someone can completely misunderstand you. Dessert. dessert. Notice that the S's in dessert have a Z sound. Dessert. Dessert. You want to keep that T at the end, and the emphasis is on the second syllable. Dessert. Dessert. There's a similarly spelled word, desert. The only difference is that desert has one S and dessert has two S's. But dessert has an emphasis on the second syllable, dessert, and desert has an emphasis on the first syllable, desert. Desert. Both have that Z sound. Be sure to keep the T at the end. Documentary. 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 Drown. 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 Drowned. 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 Drowning. 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 Drown. Drowned. Drowning. Now this one is a little bit of a tongue twister. 8 straight streets cleaned with pith. 8 straight streets cleaned with pith. This will challenge you on your d, t, and th sounds. Watch out for that last word pith, because if you say it with an S sound, s, instead of th at the end, you'll be saying a word that is not used in polite conversation in English. Either. In North America, this word is usually pronounced either by most people, and in the UK, it is also commonly pronounced either. If it's comfortable for you to say either or either, just use whichever is comfortable for you, because everyone is going to understand you. Eyes. Eyes. Feel. Feel. Fifth. Fifth. Fifth is a complicated looking word, but just know that the f in the middle is usually not pronounced. You can pronounce it as though it's spelled F-I-T-H. Fifth. Fifth. You don't have to try to pronounce it fifth. Just say fifth and you're good. First. First. The RST at the end is going to give trouble to some people. First. First. Flirt. 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 Watch out for the T's at the ends of some of these words. You want to hang on to those. Some people drop them. First. Flirt. Foam. 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 Focus. 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 The word focus is one that, if you pronounce it incorrectly, you can accidentally say another one of those words that's not used in polite English conversation. Just be sure to say focus with an O sound and not an sound. Focus. Four. 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 This next phrase is a little difficult for some people whose original language doesn't make a clear distinction between the L and R sounds in the same way that English does. Fry the fly. Fry the fly. Fry the fly. Future. 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 Note that the stress is on the first syllable, few, and the TU sound in the middle adds kind of a ch, like a CH. Future. Future. This is another one of those where the E is silent, so the vowel in front of it is very hard. Future, future.